It's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. I have a book to show you tonight that I made for a friend's upcoming birthday party. You can see I have a sewn in spine. It's pretty straight, but it's not perfect. But that's okay because I think I'm going to go ahead and put a strip of fabric here and hide that anyway. Just keep that element concealed. I kept the book as was, other than gutting it, as you can see. I thought the blue was nice. This is for a man's 60th birthday party, and it's going to be a guest book for all the friends that come to wish him happy birthday. What I did was to gut it. I sewed in 3 signatures, 1, 2, and 3. And before I sewed those in, I put a strip of scrapbook paper that had a vintage theme that went with the other papers. I glued that to the original spine just to hide the cardboardy look. I was going to leave it like that, and since there's a space in here that helps these to lie a little flatter, I went ahead and put that paper there. And then where this is just part of the original book, and where it was gutted, there was just and where I put that scrapbook paper on the spine, there was, it just kind of didn't come together real neatly. I think that's very hard to do because you're having 2 pieces of paper come together and it's hard to cut them precisely. So I put this ribbon here to conceal the spot where the 2 papers come together. And you can see I'm not perfect. There's a little more gap down here. This side turned out a little bit better, and even here it's poking through a little bit. I'll have to re-glue that, but that just gives it a more finished look, and I like that better. I have a couple pieces of paper here that are still sticking out. I will trim those, but what I did was to add some of my scrap pieces to the pages just to give them a little more ornamentation. There's a mix in here of a heavier scrapbook paper, maybe you would call that a cardstock. Some of this is a little lighter, and then I just put some miscellaneous pieces there to spruce it up, give it a little more visual interest. Now, I personally don't like seeing a lot of just the plain white space. This one here is an envelope. I thought they could put in cards for if his wife wants to add any photos of the party. She can put those in these envelopes. She can put gift cards he receives in some of these little pockets, or she can adhere photos to these more densely colored pages. This of course would be hard to write on as a guest book. It looks really cool. That looks kind of like slate, so that would be an awesome place to attach a photo. In this book, I chose to attach the signatures with embroidery floss. I used some muted shades of blue to kind of tie in with the blue cover and the blue, I know there's a name for those pages there. It's the inside of the cover, but I thought there was a name. I don't remember. But so I thought the blue tied together, and then some of these vintage looking pages that I chose have kind of blue greens in them here and there. So I was trying to tie it together with the blue floss and the blue cover, and then some of the pages have blue. But a lot of them are shades of brown. There's some coffee dyed and tea dyed accents like this popcorn bag. There's a brown paper bag here, again, an insert for any little gift tags or photos or samples of wrapping paper perhaps. Just a little collection spot. And you can see here where I glued on some of the extra scrapbook pieces. I still have some here, as you can see, and I may add some more of these yet, but I want to finish up the book this weekend. His party's approaching soon, and I just want to have it done. I took some of the pieces here and made a little card-like thing, and so I may attach those in here so people can open those up and sign there. And as with all junk journals, it just makes it a fun little adventure to go through. So the people signing the book will have fun, I hope, selecting where they want to sign it and where they want to write their sentiments. And I hope that it's fun for our friend as he looks through it later. So as you can see, there's more here. They can stick on with some glue, or another fun thing to do is to take one of the pages that maybe aren't as good for writing on, put this here, take a clip that you like. I'm going to use a gold one here, and just clip that on. So it just adds more visual interest. You have this cool gold pin, you have the two patterns working together. They're both vintage, but they're also different, and it just adds a lot of fun texture, visual texture, not so much in the feel, but in how it looks. It gives that illusion. So a lot of these pages are good for writing. I did a couple pockets, as you can see here. This one is not attached yet. More bags, mostly flat spots where people can write sentiments, but a couple different envelope areas where they can add on or add in anything they receive at the party, or anything from the year of his turning 60 that they want to keep. So what I wanted to do was to add some color to some of these white pages. I think they just get a little bit, they're just too stark against the more vintagey looking. So I'm going to take a piece of scrapbook paper. I'm back. I got cut off there. I forgot to delete a last project, and it left me without room. So I'm going to take my Tim Holtz inks. This is a tea dye color, and I'm just going to kind of ink up some of these edges, just like this. You guys can go. To create some visual interest in the book. That stark white page now blends a little bit. You can also use one of these dauber things. If you're not familiar, you just put it over the ink pad and rub it on. Now I started to do that. It was taking too long. This tea dye color is pretty faint, and I just didn't want to spend a long time doing it. So I just sometimes like to take the little these little mini ink pads, or you could do it with a larger one as well, and just go over the edge. And you can see that really looks cool, I think. It just makes it a lot more fun to look at. It's not so stark. This is not bad, but when you have a vintage, more subdued look, and then you just have these stark white pages, maybe in my world, or my way of looking at things, it doesn't blend as well as it should. So I'm going to take another color. I'm going to use, this one is called Shabby Shutters, so it kind of fits in with that distressed look. And here I'm going to try to just keep it a little bit more on the edge. This little scrapbook page is keeping me from getting it on my favorite little tea towel. And there you go. Very simple thing to add, but it just gives it a finished look. And as I said, I will go back and trim these pieces that are sticking out, and then I will be done. I don't think I'm going to add too much more to it. It's really just a guest book for people to write in. I don't want to take over with too much creative elements, because then it's going to distract from the purpose that his wife wanted the book for. She didn't really want a lot of extra stuff. She just wanted a guest book. So I think this will be a creative, fun memorabilia for him without going overboard on detail. So that is all. I will say goodbye for now. Thank you for joining me, and we'll see you next time. Bye.